episode 2. Welcome to my peeps and geeks. We're going to be talking about the new show Banditt that's coming out soon. And the girl is excited, I must confess. These posters have me sold. I mean, look at the material. It's quite exciting. I'm looking at the description and it says, the political battle arena is fierce and intense, marking a new beginning of a love story between two people from different backgrounds and social statuses. We have our boy here, Mr. Boy Parcon, and we have Ben, a familiar face. The drama, the access. I am ready for this. I've been excited for this kind of level of drama from BLs, and I fear they did not disappoint, fellas. I don't think they disappoint. I did a little digging on the unfamiliar face here, and I found some interesting details. Mans has been in the industry for quite some time, longer than most, and he's also like 40, which depending on who's listening might be a problem. But for me, I had to say I don't find an issue. He looks great. He's been in the industry for some time. He has like a bunch of works under his belt, like a ton. And I want to say like 60% of the stuff is like him being in the main role. So I'm not too worried about the acting situation. I do, however, hope. He's a pharmacist? Hey, yo. He's a pharmacist? Oh. Wow. Okay. So I do think it's quite interesting. That he has like these like a bunch. I want to say there's like 20, 30 things written here on his Wikipedia. His thing is filled with stuff with as recent as 2024, something called Tomorrow and I. My search for boys' work, I found this one that's currently on screen, Wayu Pak Mantra. And nothing prepares me for what you're watching right now. This guy's like flying in the sky. There's two of them, they're bumping and Regardless, I hope this is kind of like a Jess situation that we had with 4 minutes. I do like when they bring in like people with great acting chops, which makes for a much more mature BL series in a way that I personally believe that the space can grow, which is a great segue into the main topic of this video, which is BL age gap relationships and what they signal for the future of the industry. What is important about this particular topic is that it's good to remember that like the BL industry is BL written by women for women. Almost everything about it, the branding, the messaging, all revolves in attracting as many and devoted fangirls as possible. Key identifiers of this fan base are young girls who want to fiend over their favorite idol. But the thing about these young girls, they get older. So what happens when the BL actor gets older, the fangirls get older? What happens? Do they just disappear into the void? No. It is a space of opportunity now. What do you do in this situation as a BL actor? Do you, 1, give a BL altogether? 2, pretend as though you're not actually getting older and stay in those university stories. 3, become the gateway for the new generation to be introduced into the space and you act in, say, maybe 1 or 2 series with them. 4, act with your fellow age mates in more mature plot lines. 6, act with somebody who is significantly younger or even older than you. The 7th option is the funniest. Drag somebody into the BL industry right alongside you. We see it with Mr. Krit Yam Nan in Osan's Love alongside Earth Mix. We also see it with Nike and Pond in 180 Degrees Longitude Passes Through Us. And of course, we see it with Man and Ben in Step by Step. Now, I end off with this one because I want to talk about like Ben, listen to me. If you do a third BL with an older man, I'm gonna have to say something. Whoever your agent is, tell them I want to send them a box of chocolates. But the main point is here that the BL industry is realizing that a lot of money is being lost because they are losing a base that they have cultivated essentially to age. They're losing their actors to age because their marketing strategy has always been about targeting young, impressionable girls' minds and trying to absorb them into the brand of the actor as much as possible. But once they get older, that vision, that obsession, the insanity of that fades, but there's still general interest and, in fact, money to be made. I've been consuming BL for longer than a decade. I've grown alongside it and I've fallen in and out of love with these actors for a significant amount of time, but they still hold a place near and dear to my heart. When they come out with new work, I'm always going to try and tune in as best I can. But I'm not gonna watch a university love story as I would have typically done ages ago. This is why I imagine that the BL industry is gearing itself up for creating a secondary market for the older demographics that still consume BL content and kind of shed the image of essentially being a catnip for the youth. I argue the dramatic increase in much more mature plot lines like Kin Posh, The Sign, 4 Minutes, just naming just off the top of my head, and the sheer difference in quality and story writing, cinematography, production, the scaling of BLs being made in Thailand has exponentially grown in a short period of 2 years even with some of the most insane plot lines you can think of, truly drama filled, action packed. But one of my favorite things about it is that they don't forget what is their bread and butter, which is essentially those young girls and they still having content created to them. I feel that that's very important that like they grow their demographic rather than essentially leave people to the wayside, especially those who have been supporting them for some time and those who are currently are supporting them. The thing about representation of age gap couples in the BL industry specifically is that like among married opposite sex couples, 8% have an age gap of 10 years or more, and among same sex couples, 20% have an age gap of 10 years or more. I could have a couple of theories of why this might be the case, mainly because the population of gay people isn't as high as population of straight people, so the likelihood of you meeting your partner and you being the same age group does shrink. My question is that would it be representative, specifically in the BL space, once they start making a significant number of these age gap, much more grown plots and themes in these stories? My biggest concern with the increase of more age gap BLs is that would it be representative or be able to tell the story without coming off a little sus? Reality is that the BL industry is gonna have to grow and change with the times and maximize themselves as best as possible, as it is, frankly, in my opinion, wasteful to essentially let your fan base outgrow you. And secondly, with the influx of older, much more refined actors into the BL space, would force a lot of these BL actors to up the ante in their acting and genuinely learn. The pressure would up the ante for pre-production, production, and post-production, mainly because there's an expectation of a certain level of work that these veteran actors would be accustomed to, and you don't invite somebody into your house and then you show them not your best selves. I firmly believe that a lot of these production houses would significantly increase the amount of money that they invest into these stories if they're going to be attracting much more established actors into these spaces. These more established actors bring in eyeballs that would have never really looked at what BL has to offer. Audiences who wouldn't typically engage in this content would not be curious of a fairly known established actor is currently acting in said BL. I would want to watch too. All in all, we can clearly see a trend in the BL space in how they are progressing forward and what they're trying to accomplish and create themselves as a significant base for what has Thailand named their soft power. And they even make kiki jokes about it, which I think is quite funny.